Okay, so the Europa League is back, and I'm sure Arsenal fans can barely contain their excitement about a trip to FK Ostersunds to take on a bunch of candlestick makers. But let's take a look at a combined 11 of the best players that are currently in the Europa League, with the only caveat being that you could only include one from each team. Rui Patricio, Sporting Lisbon. Considering Sporting Lisbon are currently trailing second place Benfica by goal difference, Rui Patricio could be back in the Champions League next season, because let's be honest, he's not going anywhere. Since making his debut in 2006, the Portuguese goalie has never left. After his heroics 18 months ago, when Portugal somehow lifted the European Championships, he might have thought about a move to a club where he's guaranteed to still be in the Champions League beyond December, but it never happened, and so he's probably going to die dreaming of a Champions League quarter-final. Keita, Lyon. Alright, I can already hear you telling me that Keita is an absolute nobody and he's lucky to be in European competition at all. Well, actually, the man is an up-and-coming Dutch right back. He's already made a fool of Neymar this season, eyes on the ball lads, and is really kicking on after coming so close to winning the Europa League with Ajax last season, and nearly gaining that golden ticket into the Champions League. His time will come, but for now he'll just have to settle for the Thursday nights. Leonardo Bonucci, AC Milan. Yeah, I don't really have a clue why Leonardo Bonucci jumped off the Juventus skyscraper of success and into the pit of despair and Fabio Borini that was AC Milan. Had he not been keeping track of what that club had been up to for the last few years, it's not 2007 anymore, Leo. Bonucci has had his troubles this season, but he's still one of the best defenders in world football. He could have been marking Harry Kane this week. Instead, he would have been jotting down notes on some lanky Romanian for the mighty Ludogorets. Do yourself a favour, Leo. Get yourself out of that competition at the end of the season. I think I know at least one club that'll have you. Stefan de Vrij, Lazio. It seems like the centre half Stefan de Vrij has been splashed across the back of the Sunday papers for the last 5 years. Lad, either move to a big club or don't, alright? The highly rated 26-year-old Dutch international is apparently being courted by most of the Premier League's top half, and he'll probably want to move soon, considering he hasn't played a minute of Champions League football since 2012. Kieran Tierney, Celtic. There aren't many players to be envious of in the Scottish Premier League right now, sorry Chris Boyd, but Kieran Tierney is certainly one of them. Yes, you could make the case that it's easier to stand out in a league where you're playing Motherwell and Dundee every week, but the 20-year-old looks the real deal. The pacey left-back is continuously linked with a move to England, with Manchester United supposedly interested in adding him to their collection of expensive and unused left-backs. Naby Keita, RB Leipzig. There is a reason why Liverpool fought so desperately to pry Naby Keita away from the claws of RB Leipzig. The 23-year-old Guinean midfielder is a terrific player, and he'll be off to Anfield in the summer for £48 million. It's up to Jurgen Klopp now to make sure he'll be playing the Champions League next season. Jean Serry, Nice. Yeah, here's another African midfielder who English clubs have been sniffing around to the extent where the player's owners are close to filing a restraining order. Jean Serry, the 26-year-old Ivorian international, has enjoyed a great 2.5 years in Nice. He's not much of a goal scorer, 11 in 92 games, come on, but he was named in the League One Team of the Year last season, and it looks only a matter of time before he gets his big move. He might have one teammate in his ear, advising him not to touch England with a 6-foot pole though. Marco Reus, Borussia Dortmund. The very fact that Borussia Dortmund are playing Atalanta in the Europa League is a bit of a shock. The squad is littered with talent, multiple World Cup winners, and it's only the second time they've entered this competition since 2010. I could have listed a host of Dortmund players that shouldn't be in this competition. They were just unlucky to have been placed in the Champions League group of death with Real Madrid and Spurs. I would say their current Europa League status is what broke the camel's back for Aubameyang, but well. Anyway, Marco Reus, despite being dogged by injuries and effectively being Germany's Daniel Sturridge, has maintained a high level of excellence when fit, unlike the West Brom man. Mesut Ozil, Arsenal. I'm pretty sure when Mesut Ozil left Real Madrid for Arsenal 5 years ago, he wasn't signing up for midweek trips to FK Ostersunds. It's a bit like when you manage to convince a woman to leave her perfect marriage, only within 5 years for you to have acquired a beer belly, spent all your money and just neglected every aspect of your well-being. Don't feel sorry for him too much though, I'm sure he'll dry his eyes with those big bags of cash his new contract has earned him. Dries Mertens, Napoli. To be fair, for a player as talented as Dries Mertens, he's never really been given a fair crack of the whip at Champions League glory, with Napoli rarely making it past the group stages in recent seasons. Lads, this is why Higuain and Cavani left. The Belgian wide man must get pretty jealous when he watches his international teammates battle it out for the top prize. He scored 53 goals in his last 80 games for Napoli. Antoine Griezmann. Fair play to Antoine Griezmann, he stuck it out at Atletico Madrid as he didn't want to leave them last summer when they were stuck with a transfer embargo, but surely the countdown is on now until he can team up with Messi, Suarez and Coutinho at Barcelona. Not so much Dembele, he can just become the most expensive boot cleaner that ever lived instead. With 95 goals in 189 games for his club, 19 for France, having won the Golden Boot and Player of the Tournament at Euro 2016, and having listed third at the Ballon d'Or that same year, it's almost embarrassing that he's currently playing Copenhagen in the Europa League.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe.